Hey guys, RC here. I am doing just a quick video review for a new perspective build that I am contemplating / working on. The Vaults, Tamriel Vaults, which is a Skyrim Fallout website that I am a quote-unquote trying to contribute member. Not sure how well I do, but hey, I do the best I can. But they are having a new Skyrim character building contest event, and they do this every once in a while, just to try to generate some activity. And they put little caveats in there. So the caveats for this one are pretty straightforward. It has a level cap of between level 20 at minimum, level 25 at maximum, and you can only skill up 2 skills. So that's I think that's why you have to put the level cap in there at 20 to 25, because to get further into the game with only 2 skills, I'm not even sure you could do that. So I had seen quite a few people talking about this mod called Ordinator, and I've got a email out to one of the guys that evidently is familiar with it to ask him some questions, because it looks interesting. I use a lot of mods, but I've never used anything that really changed the basics of the game. So, I know there's a couple of things that just change it completely, and I forget the name of that one. Starts with an R, I think. But anyway, but Ordinator appears to just add and modify the perk trees. Gives you like 4,000 new spells, something along those lines. Sorry about that. I had to take some medicine real quick. So basically this is going to be a pretty vanilla build, and I'm trying to see how viable it is. So basically what I'm leveling up is one-handed and blocking. And because you can only level up 2 skills, we are not using armor at all. Now there are some caveats. There are two options within the build. One is 2, and that's it. The other one is, outside of maybe some minor things, like if you read a book and it skills something up. And I think I have an example right here with smithing. I did read a book, and it raised my smithing by a point. But everything else should be right in that line. Now, speech, I've gotten a little bit of experience from selling things. There were a couple of points that I had to sneak just to set something up. In fact, it was in the very barrows where the guy, the bandit goes up and pulls the lever and gets killed by the poison darts. If you walk up, he turns around and attacks you, and for some reason that guy seems a little tougher than just about anybody else except for the boss in that whole dungeon. So you sneak up on him, but for the most part, I was wearing a little bit of light armor. I'll talk about that in a second. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to go armsman. I will take fighting stance to save some stamina, because basically we're putting all of our points into health. So anything that we can save stamina to get 1 or 2 extra power attacks is going to be helpful. And I think I'm going to go with maces for the armor, ignoring of armor. That is something I think we will need to be able to kill faster than normal. And then the other one, we will be, because we're not wearing any armor, or basically no armor, we're going to go with block, and everything will be based off of building up your block. And what I'm thinking here is your shield wall, and then we can deflect arrows, and the next one I want to get is elemental protection, because then that helps me against ranged attacks and magic attacks. And I think that's as high as we'll be able to go. I don't think you'll be able to get to a 70 skill within 20 or 25 levels. I never really see the need for that particular skill. I might do that one. I'm going to have to do some research on that. That would actually be really good to get if I can get to 50. Which I should, because Bash is going to be, Bash and Block are going to be part of my attacks, actually. And then using the one-handed. So anyway, that's kind of my idea. So, there's nothing that says you cannot... Oh, wrong way. This way. I got turned around. Bleak Falls Barrow. There's nothing that says you can't use poisons, that you can't use healing potions, stamina restore potions. I am quick saving a lot more in here just because I need to. All right. So I think what you can see right there is, I actually usually have a lot of trouble with this guy. And the fact that I'm not losing any health, let's take a look at, I am wearing just plain blue robes, so no armor there. Plain boots, so no armor there. I have my heavy shield, which is heavy armor. And, that's going to be one of those things, by blocking, I am going to build up some... Well, in fact, let's see. We can look at that. Heavy armor. No, see, I haven't gotten any skill ups in heavy armor, even with the shield. It's all going into the block. So now, what I do foresee possibly doing is I've been picking up pieces of gear, necklaces, so if I do face a mage, resist fire, resist shock, same against dragons, then I can actually have something that will help me out. Those are not armor, but they will help somewhat. But I do have like studded armor, a helmet, bracers. If I do take damage while blocking wearing gear, I will see that increase in that skill. And you can see when I first started I was doing that, and I got about halfway up, about 40% of the way up in a level in light armor. So I've removed it, I've gone without it, but if I do have a boss fight or something, I am going to carry it if I can't, to wear if I need it, just for that little extra protection to get through a fight. Hopefully that's within the scheme of being legal in the rules. No unlocking chests. I will not have the ability. And right now I have the Warrior Stone. I think I am going to look at another stone, however, later on. So again, I'm just doing a really quick run through here in Bleak Falls to see how viable the build will be. Oh, forgive the dogs. Somebody's pulling up at the house. Alright, so we have... And this is where you might want to take a pop a potion if it gets too much worse. Let's see. Just trying to take things that I can sell. Yep, don't see anything because I like that necklace. I actually bought that that resist shock necklace, and I could burn a healing potion, or I could just let it. God, my mouse is way too sensitive. I've been playing Fallout a lot, and my mouse sensitivity is set for that game right now, and it's a little touchy for Skyrim. So the next fight is the boss, and again, part of the rules are, you can't do anything that would be outside of the realm of normalcy, I guess, with those two perks. Now, what does that mean? That means I cannot cast any magic spells, but I don't think that means that I cannot use scrolls if I find them. I think so. That will be something that I am going to incorporate, is either using scrolls, potions that I find or buy, keeping in mind I can't pick any chest or anything else. And I guess we may have to consider shouts to a greater degree. I hadn't even thought about shouts yet, but that's not really... Oh, and I cannot do lock picking. I've got to remember that. I wish there was a way you could turn that off, because I'll forget eventually. Alright, let's do a quick save before we come in here. The problem with this guy and being a melee character is he has that shout, and it can disarm you. Oh, that actually went much easier than I expected. So, we used 2 fireball spells. We did take a little bit of damage. But actually, that went much better than I thought it would. Now, here's a chest, a good example. Chest that is not locked. So nothing precludes you from opening and looting that chest. It's only the ones that you would have to use a lock-picking skill, which we are not going to level up lock-picking or sneak or anything else. So basically it's just a charge ahead build. Try to block and stagger your opponents, and use the mace and the ignore armor ability of that weapon to get to defeat your opponents. So that is the build in a nutshell. Thanks for checking it out. I guess it seems to work, so we'll give it a run all the way up to level 20 or 25 and see what happens. Thanks for watching.